Live from WTOC, the Southeast News leader. The News Now starts on WTOC Plus.
We would like to thank you all for joining us this afternoon for the news on WTOC Plus. I'm digital anchor Jude Binkley. We start with an update on a home fire in Savannah that happened earlier today. It led to a road closure this morning. Savannah Fire and Savannah Police responded to that structure fire at 315 West 40th Street after a call came in just before 11 a.m. today. Now, traffic control was in place with West 40th Street closed between Montgomery and Jefferson Streets while crews worked the scene. Officials are asking drivers to avoid the area and seek alternate routes. We did learn that the fire was put out and fully extinguished just about 50 minutes ago, but you can see some of that footage right there. An older building, certainly. We also learned that a dog was rescued from that fire. And in Hampton County, firefighters responded to a commercial vehicle fire at the intersection of Walterboro Highway and Sandy Run Road. You can see these photos right here from the Hampton County SC Announcements Facebook page showing a logging truck which caught on fire. And we do know that the flames from this were fully extinguished as well. We have more details this afternoon regarding an 18-year-old woman who was killed after a crash in Screven County yesterday morning. The sheriff's office identified that teen as 18-year-old Kiana Weisner. Officials tell WTOC that ice on the roads likely contributed to the crash, which resulted in the death of the teen. The Screven County Sheriff said this was one of multiple accidents after the winter storm that came through our area, saying that on the same morning another accident happened where a vehicle driven by a pregnant woman slid off into a ditch. We have new details on the man accused of killing a police officer in Gwinnett County. Kevin Andrews is now facing multiple charges after police say he shot two officers over the weekend. Niamani Watson with our sister station has the details.
35-year-old Kevin Andrews faces multiple charges, including felony murder, 2 counts of aggravated assault on a police officer, and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. On Sunday, officers Pradeep Tamang and David Reed were responding to a call about a man using a fake credit card at a Stone Mountain hotel when police say Andrews shot both officers. Officer Reed was taken to the hospital. Officer Tamang died. Today, the police department and community continue to place flowers on a patrol car in his honor.
Everyone who put their lives on risk in order to protect anyone in the community is a hero.
Luis Gonzalez, who's a former volunteer firefighter, says he understands how dangerous and unpredictable being a first responder can be.
Every day, every shift is different. Every call is different. You can't just pass from the very happy call, from one that are very sadness, from another one that make you mad.
Officer Tamang joined the Gwinnett County Police Department in July of 2024 and graduated from the police academy last year in May. Gonzalez says it's important to show Tamang's family that the community is thankful for his service.
Well, staying in state news, Georgia lawmakers are advancing a bill that could change the school day for high schoolers statewide. House Bill 1009 passed a subcommittee and would expand cell phone restrictions for grades 9 through 12 starting in the 2027-28 school year. The bill, sponsored by Representative Scott Hilton, would enforce a bell-to-bell phone ban with exemptions for students in dual enrollment or work-based programs.
We want teachers to teach and students to learn, and our teachers not to be a cell phone police. If we have a policy that says instruction time, you're having to deal with the in and out, the constant in and out of the cell phone, or if it's black and white, very simple, beginning of the day, end of the day, kids get that. Teachers get that.
Before unanimously approving the bill, the subcommittee raised concerns about public safety, emergencies, and added classroom management for teachers. House Bill 1009 is still being refined. Last year, lawmakers passed a cell phone ban for grades K through 8, and that goes into effect this summer. Well, some Georgia parents say a computer error caused their children's Medicaid coverage to suddenly show as inactive, triggering panic for families who rely on that care every single day. The issue affects children enrolled in the Katie Beckett Medicaid program, which helps cover care for kids with disabilities living at home.
It has been a whirlwind of a day, incredibly stressful, not just for myself, but I think all the families that are affected.
Georgia parents spending hours in a state of panic.
I mean, I called and I heard via phone that my son's eligibility was that he was now inactive as of today. And, I, of course, got very stressed and started to call people that I know to try to figure out, hey, what's going on.
Children with special needs and disabilities who rely on Medicaid assistance for therapy, care, and surgeries covered by Georgia's Katie Beckett assistance funding suddenly listed as inactive for eligibility. Marta Contreras got this message from her son's therapy center, alerting parents coverage was changing.
This is life-saving care for my child to be able to continue to live and have a good quality of life.
For the Contreras family and their son Miguel, hours of silence and confusion leading to uncertainty for the future of care that Miguel relies on.
He sees almost every kind of specialist out there, whether it's cardiology or neurology, GI, etc. And then also he receives therapies every single day of the week.
Care that totals up to thousands of dollars, and stress started by what the Georgia Department of Community Health is saying was an IT issue. Here's part of the statement they sent Atlanta News First. Quote, over the weekend, an IT issue caused certain Katie Beckett members' eligibility status to be flagged and changed incorrectly. It does not reflect a change in their child's eligibility. Notices are being sent to the families of affected KB members regarding the issue. All affected cases are being reviewed and will be reinstated as soon as possible. Across the metro, another mom in Winder, Georgia, forced to make a tough decision about her daughter's leg braces after learning little Charlie was listed as inactive.
Last week, we were remeasured and recasted for a new set, and now I had to call her prosthetics and orthotics office and tell them to put a pause on submitting that order because we don't have coverage to pay for that.
If this happened to you, here's what the Georgia Department of Community Health says you need to know. They say you'll be notified if you were impacted. Your case will be reinstated as soon as possible. That'll happen automatically. GCH says parents shouldn't submit a new application or take any extra steps, and that any services received during the affected period will continue to be covered.
In South Carolina, all eyes are on lawmakers as they weigh potential hemp bans or restrictions. That debate is heating up at the South Carolina State House as lawmakers consider two very different bills. State House reporter Stephen Biddix has the details.
Last year, the House passed a proposal that would raise the minimum age for people to buy hemp products to 21 years old. Now, there's two new proposals. One is an outright ban, and the other creates regulations around the industry.
We're in the wild, wild west.
Two bills up for debate this week in the House would alter South Carolina's hemp industry. Hemp is a plant from the cannabis family. The bills target hemp products infused with THC that cause psychoactive reactions. One bill bans them completely. The other regulates the market. David Spang founded Coastal Green Wellness in 2017. He wants a comprehensive bill that outlines how every aspect of the industry should work, concerned of what a full ban could mean for businesses like his.
It has been beneficial for a lot of South Carolinians, from consumers who rely on these products and have improved their life on a daily basis, to South Carolina-based small businesses who have made their livelihood over the last 8 years and invested quite a bit into the industry.
Representative Justin Bamberg says adults should have the freedom to use these products.
Especially if it means that 75-year-old or 55-year-old Marine Corps veteran or the guy coming off his 12-hour shift at the factory, if he wants to have a CBD drink or a THC drink or eat a gummy, he should be able to do that. She should be able to do that.
The other proposal creates regulations, but only allows for hemp beverages you could buy at liquor stores. The bill limits each can to 12 ounces and 5 milligrams of Delta-9 THC. Representative Weston Newton calls the industry the Wild West. Adding SLED says they can enforce a beverage market but don't want to go any further.
So the goal is we got to do something about getting this away from children. And so it's not necessarily about options. If we do a complete ban and that doesn't get voted on or doesn't get approved, then we're left with nothing.
Other House lawmakers I've spoken with say regulation has more support than an outright ban. Senate Majority Leader Shane Massey says he does expect the Senate to take up a hemp regulation bill at some point this session, whether that's one that comes over from the House or one they create on their own. Reporting at the State House, I'm Stephen Biddix.
Turning now to sports news, Ian Cunningham has officially been introduced as the Atlanta Falcons' new head coach. Cunningham replaces Terry Fontenot, who was fired along with head coach Raheem Morris earlier in the season. A press conference wrapped up just a little over an hour ago where the new GM shared his excitement. Take a listen.
Thank you guys for being here. I'm just taking this in for a second. This is pretty special to come back home. To come back home to a franchise, to an organization that I grew up watching right up the road in Roswell.
Cunningham is joining the Falcons after serving as the Chicago Bears assistant GM for the last 4 seasons. Before that, he won Super Bowls with both the Baltimore Ravens and Philadelphia Eagles. And finally, 9 years after its release, Nintendo's Switch has become the company's best-selling console of all time. In Nintendo's financial results from today, the Japanese company said lifetime sales of the Switch are at 155.37 million units, beating the 154 million Nintendo DS units sold. Third place is the Game Boy, with about 118 million units sold. Sony's PlayStation 2 still remains the best-selling video game console of all time, with 160 million units sold over a 13-year lifespan. However, Nintendo plans to keep selling the original Switch, which could soon threaten the PS2's position. Growing up, I had it wasn't an original Game Boy, it was a Game Boy Advance. I had like the Mario games, Donkey Kong, really fun. A lot of childhood memories with those old Nintendo games. All right, and with that, we are going to wrap things up here for the news on WTOC Plus. We'd like to thank you all for making us part of your afternoon. We'll be back with the First Alert Weather Show coming up in about 15 minutes with Chief Meteorologist Dave Turley. Until then, you can always head on over to our website for the latest updates. Thanks for watching, and here's Local News Live.